Hello friends, welcome back. A question was raised, how do we team NASDAQ? And we thought we will share some insights. The base model, which is the base of lots of models, will not change. Again, you always want to drive things from a single model because your brain can get trained. It can see the patterns over and over and over and over. Alright, so market went here, it came back to this section, which is fine. If you're driving things from this section, right here or here, so what you can do is add a second data line to make your life much easier. So if you have these levels, which you do, right? I'm plotting these levels on your trading platform. This is all in multi-charts, and I think we have dozens and dozens of people using this on multi-chart. If not, you have these levels for free as well. So you draw these levels. Let's say this is your chart and you have these levels right here, right? And you do this every day and you keep track of it every day. You can look at last 20 tweets and you can rebuild them and keep tracking them as well. The question is, let's assume you did this and you want to trade. You've been following these levels, you like it, and you want to trade. And you want to trade NASDAQ. So what we have here is two data lines. One is using nothing more than 30 minutes. And this is just 30-minute bar. That's it. It doesn't matter 30 minutes or not. Not for this model. Anyways, it is looking at some other things to plot it. It's just easier. Second thing is we went to 15 minutes and then we are doing Heikin-Ashi. Heikin-Ashi is a 6-bar average. And that's what it is coloring. And it is not showing the price, but it is what I just showed you. It is what that is. And what I've done is I've taken the first data line right here and changed the style to line on close. And that is the true price. On close. Not high, low, or average or nothing of that sort. A simple line on close on 30 minutes, and on 15 minutes we have Heikin-Ashi, which itself is a 6-bar average. You can manipulate this, you can create your own average bars, it doesn't matter, it's just an average bar because it is giving us a synthetic price trend. And the rule says, especially what the rules I am talking about for large institutions, they are mostly on the daily or higher, right? They don't deal with this low level 5 minute, 10 minutes. But intraday, they do. And it doesn't matter, it is just an average of the price, pure price. So the trick, what you can use, now I'm gonna remove these blue lines so you can see what I'm about to reveal to you. And it might help you. So one thing we can do is when you have these bars and they have a specific color and you're spending too much time with that same color in this balance point, you are basically showing the bias towards a direction. I hope you understood what I'm trying to say. The second part is, if there's a pure cut of the price, you can also trade that as well. So you have to look at the bars coming into this price, bars inside this price, what colors are those, and if you just do a simple analysis, you can just pick the direction very easily from these boxes. So if I count the number of bars here, you can see there are more red bars here than the blue ones, correct? You can just see it. Alright, if that is the case, and if the philosophy is correct, I want to take a shot on close. And remember, this is where the green line is. That is the actual price, not the average price. Do you understand that? I think you do, because remember, the close happened here on the 15-minute bar, but the actual price was somewhere right here. This is the difference between the close and close. The one guy is closing here, this guy is closing here. So, but we already knew that the direction you want to go is on the short side. So you could simply put a limit order to go short here because of the bias inside the bar where the contracts are being collected. This is a no trade zone. That's why we say go long and short. And then what we have here is a retest, obviously, right? And then beyond that point, there was no construction or reconstruction of the bias. So this is what we can do. And then there's nothing stopping us from adding an oscillator of interest. And we can put that on this is a whole tool set, right? This is the whole, I keep calling different names at different times as I evolve in my own research too and my own experience. But next generation, this was next generation 2015. Now we are, fourth generation ahead of the game. So, but if somebody wants to really buy this and wants to really take a liking to this and get trained for 90 days just on this tool, this is the whole set you get. I just showed you that, but that's what it is. So that is the oscillator. All right. Then we also have another oscillator, or you can just simply put an RSI. Everything is next generation. Is good next generation. Again, this is simply two RSIs coming together with some manipulation. And how we manipulate, we always add on balance volume, we add relative volumes, we add some volume and spice it up at least, because volume close on close really helps us. We also add sometimes momentum into it, right? So this is how we build 10 oscillators into one. This one has 4. And this is much faster than the other one I showed you because that has 10 and it's slower. This is more reactive. So here we are pretty much clear that my philosophy, what I just told you, that we have more red bars here and then we want to go short, right? So and then that short, if you look at the bottom, the oscillator has given us that opportunity to do that as well. Don't worry about the aesthetics of which is what's going on, but ultimately that's the point, that these were tradable levels after it really exited properly. Is it all clean all the time? Maybe not, but ultimately we understand as traders this is not a 100% game. We are trying to stitch the probabilities in our favor. And when they are, this is also good ones, especially off hours, early morning hours, like before the London Open and getting into London Open, or at, and when the exchanges are getting shifted. You can see that both of the price on 15 Hakinashi and 30-minute are just overlapping each other. So because the bars are too small, you can see that. When the bars get too big, they get off from each other pretty fast because the averages are offsetting and they don't go hand in hand. All right. So this day there was no bias. Earlier it was red and then green, and then it came the red. And I'm looking at the oscillator. It's not giving me any short bias either, so I will wait. And here it is saying, hey, there's high likelihood that it will go probably on the short side. And if you took the short, now it didn't go well. It went to the previous one, and then it took the short. So took a small loss here, 20 point, which is okay. Then it comes back ferociously, and this is the beauty of Nasdaq, right? And now it is now generating, just like it is generating momentum here on the short side, and this one had the bias also with you, right? And this is like 100 points. This is, I mean, $2,000 right there, right? Same thing happened right here per contract. So it generated some momentum. Initially it tipped over. This is where the tipping point and the volume and the previous day, as I said, these are the magnets, balance points to balance points to balance points, right? So you have to do some work, start watching it for 90 days, trusting it, believing it, trading it, benefiting from it. Short below this, oscillator is ready, it's moving down, you got another shot, right? So it's pretty interesting how we can use the basic understanding and add some more value even on the volatile instruments. All right, so I think let's check few more. And so this is a helper oscillator for people who are doing this trading. You can use your own oscillators if you trust these levels and want to use these levels, and you have it on toss, plot it, and then if they add value, just use it. Okay, this is again, remember this, they get reset. Look at the time, 1700 hours. Once the cash settlement has taken place and the Tokyo is open, they get plotted. They analyze all the previous days, and we know this level, right? So okay, London session, going into it, this is just noise. I would say just look at a London session. London session is always negative, a lot of negativity, and then it is nullified. If I just look at this from here to here, there's still, let's say, these red bars, and they are nullified by this guy, and then we have we have other bars which are red. So this is a nullification zone, and if you look at the oscillator, right? You don't want to be going short here. Let it pull on the other side, and it does. And now you put a stop, buy, sell stop, boom. So limit orders, because these levels are known, there's no need to chase anything. We don't chase anything. We know exactly when to enter, how to scale in, exactly where to stop, and always do your trend lines. Always do your trend lines, right? Now you see this patterns. There are 100 patterns. I'll start making videos on those, but at this point you can see this is triangle. It's ascending and descending triangle both. So the laws of that triangle is whichever way they go, you go. And we already have a bias. We have a level. We have a bias on the oscillator. We have coming into this compression area, it's going to go to the short side. It just gave you that hint right there. And we have quite a bit, $4,000 day. I'm not saying that you got all of it, but I'm just saying for sake of it, right? Okay, let's do one last one. Always do these kinds of trend lines, because it's not that algos are doing it. A lot of people are doing it. Even though we have better things to do, it doesn't matter. It doesn't hurt. It's easy, few seconds away. I'm trying to figure out. We say there are 3 trend lines, and we say that in level 1 for a reason, because we know how to project things. Now, if you remember, we talked about Mandela. I'm not talking about our leader, esteemed leader. I'm talking about who passed away in history. I'm talking about the frequency of the Buddhism mandala, I would say. And there we go. Let's put the mandala there. Right box at the break of it. This box height right there. It goes there, right? Everything has a structure. Everything we do has a precise meaning around it. We don't gamble, right? Even we may have taken a loss, but we know exactly what is going on. And at the same time, where did it go? It went to the suggested level to track your levels. Balance point. It's gonna happen the rest of next 3 generations until the end of time. It will still be doing the same thing what I'm telling you, exactly the same thing. All right, so okay, I digress. So now here we came in the box, there's nothing going on, right? Now we broke out of this mandala, we are trying to go here, and then what's going on? Look at the bars coming into this. In this bar, there's only one bar here. So what is the bias? What is the bias if we only have 1 or 2 bars here? Bias, well, we only have 1, 2 bars, and that's the only bias we have. We buy long here. Look at the oscillator telling us to go long here as well, right? Don't worry about which one is what. One is fast, one is slow. It's adaptive. But you got it. And you know, be cautious. Now people ask, where do we get out? These are all the levels. Depending on if you're a scalper, get out at these lines. Level 1, level 2, level 3, never got it. This guy stopped it. You have all your targets already there, 1, 2, 3. Stop loss below this. You have to, if you get snipped, if it moves a lot, it jumps a lot, you get snipped, try again, right? Because the bias is set up. So this is not we do best position trading. What do you bring out of that? You convert it into a scalp or into a swing. Just have to change your time frames according to that. The laws will not change. All right, so what did we say? Let's draw some trend lines, and there are a bunch of trend lines, right? We are interested in doing crazy approach to trend lines. I'm just looking at where are we hitting? Okay, we don't care. Hit it. We break all the rules. We break all the rules. I am looking for the compression zones, and look closely at the compression zone. What bar has been created? At this compression zone of these lines, let me get rid of entry. We were read into it. It's gonna go short. Here, maybe I should be doing all this technical analysis for betterment of the world. So if you just go into this, right? You can go in. Let me just move a little bit higher so we can see what's going on. So coming into this, red green is like, I'm just saying red green is blue. Red blue, right? blue, 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 and it broke on the blue. And it say come back again, and again it's a blue bar. That's fine. It came back to retest it, right? So I have drew true down trending. Let's move it here. Lines, right? I'm trying to figure out which direction are they gonna go. If I'm confused, look at the oscillator. They're gonna go along. Buy, you can buy here itself. Go with the break goes. Same thing here. Red, red, red is pretty obvious when it is getting into this apex, right? Boom. Color, 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 zone. This is like even a blind guy like me can short here, right? All right. So you understand exactly what's going on. Always, always, Gann said, use all the tools all the time. And now our tools are, in my humble opinion, 100 times better than Gann's tool. He was a master trader. Remember that. He was a master trader of pullbacks. And he used, we haven't even shown you, as I said, we just, all this level 1, level 2, we just scratching the surface initially. We were scratching the surface with model 1. Now we are showing you 6, 7 models. Now we are trying to put the hands in the pocket and get some goodies out, step by step, slowly. Fundamentals will not change. Focus on these fundamental approaches which I'm showing you, and the levels. That alone is going to hopefully have some impact in your bottom line, right? That's all there is. There's nothing much to be said about it, right? And it doesn't hurt me, since we all friends here. If you make money, I love to see you make a lot of money. More people make money in this planet Earth and do what they are supposed to do, is gonna get better and better for everybody, right? So now, is there rocket science behind it? I mean, what am I doing which is rocket science here? The only rocket science is the building this model, which is a story in itself. Okay, I'm looking at the apex. I'm trying to get creative. Don't worry about that. There should be clear sight of this and that and all this retail coaching, because it's nothing to do with intelligence. I keep saying that. It is something to do with something else. It's marketing going on to locate your inventory. You're trained in a certain way. It's nothing to do with intelligence. We are showing you a different approach to doing things. So now I'm looking for, now going into this apex. Which apex I'm at right now? I'm at this apex, right? Coming from here and here. I'm just drawing. You can skip the wicks. Don't have to be too strict, right? I have my oscillator telling me it's going to go short anyways. I'm just trying to confirm it. When you're coming, the spring is coiling, right? It's a spring, and it's coiling it, I'm compressing it. I want to see, is it the floor or the ceiling which got compressed, and it's going to blow onto the opposite side. That's all there is. It's giving me some hint. Now this is, remember, 45 minutes. And then bias is already there, short. And I found some connections here. I'm drawing this. Can't be sloppy, right? So, okay, same thing again. It is bouncing, and bouncing. It is one way is gonna blow. Which way is gonna blow? Look at the oscillator. One is saying long, one is saying short. Well, and the color of the bars coming into it is also like, red, red, blue, red, blue, blue. And then wherever it goes, you just go with it. Right? So this is the pivot. Break of the pivot high. Bar by bar, bar by bar. When we talk to people and we do a lot of coaching all over, right? People are looking at this. Oh, there's a jump like 10 bars. Come down to bar by bar by bar, and it's a game of psychology, right? Chess. You don't, even though you have 10 moves ahead already planned in your chess. This is my entry. This is my exit. This is my, you already have all those things planned out in your homework. But When you're making the move, you're doing in same sequence, and you may have to adapt because my philosophy may have to be adapted, right? So there we go. Anyways, so there it is. I think we already covered this box, how to enter. So I hope that this is not complicated at all, actually. So I added this to add a bias. And this was the reason I've been not talking about any oscillator, because then your mind is just looking at oscillator, not what is the right approach to doing right things. And people who are really getting to really making decent amount of money now, a few $1,000 a day, outside professional environment, remember one thing. They don't even want to use oscillator the way they have been trained. That's why you don't see any of us using any of that. Anyways, but nothing wrong. Hey, as I said, use all the tools all the time. Okay, now I'm just generating the apex movement. Now this is a failure, correct? It broke to the top side. Didn't do anything. Oscillator was there, everything was there. It also broke on the right side too. It didn't do anything. Stopped out. So you get subbed out, and then you revisit what to do next, right? I'm not gonna stop trading. So all the trades we've done so far, this is our first damage to our philosophy. Trend line is here. Oops. Okay, I did this trend line. I'm forcing the apex points. I'm forcing to come with my apex and generating a forceful breakouts. Okay, but it's not doing it just randomly. I'm using pivots. I'm using some pivots, and I'm using the pivots, and I'm trying to do it. That's all there is. That's why I say don't try to use this time zone, which is Tokyo session. So now this is there we go, right? To just get creative. Now this is 2 bar. This is half an hour, 20 minutes bar. Who is saying that this is also pivot bar by bar? We also do reverse bars. I am trying to, as I said, create some connections and some directions. Now here, it was saying to go short. We are in the level. We are creating a forced apex break of that. Somewhere here is a short. All right, thank you so much. Hope this added some few tips here. Thank you.